beautiful beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I'm so excited to be back with a finished jewelry update video. You guys know I get so many bead subscriptions and share hauls and things like that with you, which is a lot of fun for me to do, but one of my favorite things to do is to come back and share some finished pieces and to talk about them a little bit to hopefully provide you with a little bit of inspiration and maybe some ideas in your own jewelry making, because it's always fun when we inspire each other and when we share. And I love doing these videos too because it also means that I've had a chance to play with some of the beads and findings that I've gotten in over the past few weeks. So the first thing that I'm sharing with you that you have been looking at is this necklace right here, which was inspired by the contents of the August Soft Flex mystery box. If you saw that video, you know that they had sent the majority of these beads, not these particular 3-hole octo beads, but they sent these gorgeous button beads. They sent these purple drops that kind of look like little feathers, and even these clear seed beads back here. So at the time that I shared that unboxing, I hadn't had a chance to actually play with the kit and make something from it. But over the next couple days, I was able to put this original design together, which I'm really pleased with. I also shared it on my Facebook page and the Soft Flex group's Facebook page as well, so you may have already seen this. But this was just a result of me playing around on my bead mat. Sometimes things just come together. I had these, and as I was laying these beads out, because these are larger and I kind of wanted them as focals, but I wanted to use them in bead weaving as well, I thought that it would be a great opportunity to pull out these 3-hole beads that would hopefully hold everything together like I wanted it to. So with a little trial and error, it did come together. I do want to show you a close-up of the back because that is how everything is staying in place so nicely. It really does feel good. These beads do not shift around in this main portion, that is, which was something that was important to me. I wanted this to hold a nice collar shape when it was put on the neck. These of course will move, but once they're on, they will stay in place. And I think they drape really nicely. I love how the colors came together, but you can see by using those larger clear seed beads on the back, they just act as really nice anchors for this flat button shaped bead. So I was really happy to be able to come up with that and have something fun to share from the contents of that kit, especially since it was a new one for me to unbox on my channel. And then as you can see, I finished it up with some of my own stainless steel chain, a lobster clasp, and then I added an extender with a little embellishment there, wire wrapped on the back. So what I'm going to do for this finished jewelry update is share with you pieces that were inspired by many of my August boxes. So sometimes I'll take one box and try to make as many pieces as I can to share with you in one video. But for this one, I decided, since I got so many different boxes in August, I would try to pick something from each of the boxes to inspire me to create a piece and then share with you that way. So up next, I want to share with you the earrings that came from the kit that was in the August Jesse James beads. I think the theme was late summer romance, and I really enjoyed that particular box. I thought the colors and the coordination were really beautiful, and I was excited to make these earrings. At the time I shared the video, the tutorial, I didn't see it up on their blog, but I checked back and there it was. So I put these together based on that, and what I thought was really interesting about these earrings was they had something that you could dangle off the front right there from that finding, but also they used the back of the finding to use to dangle something else. So when they're on, they are so adorable. You see the little bird, and we have the flower, and this is like a little acrylic piece that looks like lace in there. But I thought that was very creative to use the back, not just the front of the post earring. And I was also loving that really delicate light pink chain that also has the little touches of gold on it. I think that is so pretty. I did end up having about 2 inches of the chain left, so because of that I decided to go ahead and make another little pair of earrings with that. I also had 2 button beads left from the Soft Flex box, and you may also remember that these 2 substantial purple drops came from that same Jesse James bead box as well, and I said I was excited to incorporate those in some earrings right away, so that's what I did. I used the little leftover pink chain that I had here to create a beautiful pair of earrings. Next up, I'll share something from the Curated Bead Box. So the August box included this gorgeous glass pendant with these pressed dried flowers inside. I was looking through that box and that is definitely what inspired me the most. So I pulled that out. I also used some of this soft flex that came in the soft flex box. So you can see that I kind of crossed over and used all different things from my stash in different boxes, but I tried to pick something from each that inspired me. So I was inspired by that pendant. I also pulled out some Swarovski bicones from my stash. These two colors, I believe, were from the August Eureka Crystal Beads box. And if I had smaller crimp beads, I would have used those, but I didn't, so it is what it is. You use what you have. And I just continued the bicones going up the soft flex, and then again added a little embellishment up there at the lobster clasp. So I really liked how that came out. It's just kind of light and airy and doesn't take away from the delicate pendant. Next up, I have another necklace to share with you guys, and this one was inspired by this Chinese silk cord that we had gotten in the August dollar bead box. So I think you could have gotten either like a black or the red variation. So I decided to pull that out and do something with it since it was something I hadn't really played much with before. I was also inspired by this wooden finding that one of my viewers had actually sent to me last month as well. I'm not going to name any names, but she knows who she is, and she said that she was interested to see if I'd be able to come up with anything with this wooden piece. You can see it's like a connector. There's a hole here and there was actually a hole here, so that's what I used to dangle the leaf findings off of. These are just leaves that I had in my stash in like an antique brass or bronze. And then if you look close, what I thought was kind of neat is that I had these little fire polish beads that happen to match this cord like perfectly. So it's burgundy, but then it's also got this grayish blue on it as well. And so I had to use those. I thought they kind of looked like berries. I wanted to go with something kind of fall inspired and a little bit rustic, a little bit vintage. That's kind of what I was going for with this. So I just attached the silk cord, as you can see, onto the connector, covering up one of the holes. I also looked through my stash to see what large hole beads I had. I had one of these stone beads that I'd gotten from BB Craft previously, and then this was a large hole flower bead that came from Jesse James Beads. So I just popped those right on the top to add a little bit of extra interest. And you can see you can just tie this in a bow, which makes the length of the necklace adjustable, which is a cool feature, I think. And then this wooden piece just kind of acts like a frame around the leaf. This necklace can fall kind of low on the chest. I think it would be beautiful with a sweater or a basic solid color top with a cardigan or a jacket over it, just to give you a little visual. So that's what I was inspired to make from the Chinese cord. Next up, I will share the Centerline bracelet and ring that was sent in the new Findings companion pack from Adornable Elements. This set, though, I believe came in July, but I hadn't worked with them yet. But those little turquoise Delica beads, those did come in August in my Adornable Elements Delicas of the Month subscription, so I used those in the design. You can see I just used some black Nymo thread to attach a design there, and then imitated the design on the ring. So it just kind of sits on the wrist just like that, and there is the set. So it was really fun for me to play with something different like that and experiment with one of these Centerline cuffs and rings, because I really hadn't even seen or heard of them before. And that's just another reason why I love subscription boxes, is because it pushes you out of your comfort zone, and usually you end up using things you may not have gone out and purchased on your own separately. Next up, these beads did not come from a subscription box per se, but they did come from beadboxbargains.com, which is the sister site of the Bargain Bead Box. And I shared these in last month's haul video. I do a haul sharing what I've gotten from them each month because they send a coupon code each month with their subscription. So I'd gotten these chunky faceted beads on a strand from them, and I also picked out some of these peacock beads. And they even sent these little freebie spacers. So I decided to put these together. I made two separate bracelets. I wanted these to kind of sit on top of the wrist so you could really see them and they would stand out. And I also like using flat beads like this in bracelets because they're a little bit more comfortable than using really big chunky round beads. So what I did was I put these three and the spacers on some wire. You can see the wire wrapped loop right there. And then I attached that component to a stretchy cord component. So these faceted beads right here are actually on stretch cord, which gives us some adjustability. So you can just slip it right on the wrist like that, no clasp needed. These sit right there where you can see them. So cool, and it looks nice from all sides, I think. So if you're one of my viewers who's very new at beading, or maybe you haven't done much with stretch cord, I did share previously a couple videos about how to use stretch cord, but not in this application. So I'll probably be back next month for my next BB craft tutorial to share with you guys how you can do a bracelet like this that is half stretch and then half some other component. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in learning about how I made these two bracelets. My next two pieces are inspired by Bead Crate. Bead Crate sends awesome check glass every single month, and you might recognize these green beads right here. These are a 2-hole tile bead that came in the August box. Again, one day I just sat down and I had a lot of fun putting some different things together, experimenting. I'm always trying to come up with new things based on the contents of the boxes in my stash. So I started putting things together and ended up with this. I pulled out some of these gold crescent beads that I had in my stash, as well as all sorts of things. Got some little 2-hole beads right here, some pip beads, some pinch beads, some seed beads, all sorts of little things. So I don't know if I'll be back in the future to share a tutorial on this. We'll see. If you guys have any interest in that, there's some tweaking that I'll probably still want to do with it, but overall I think it's really different and unique and ended up with a pretty cool design. As you can see, I added the chain on the back like I do a lot of times. I'll do a beaded portion on the front and then chain in the back. That's just because that's my personal style preference, and that's what I'm drawn to doing a lot. And here is another look at the necklace off the display. You can see the back. I finished it again with just a little lobster clasp and then a segment of a different chain and an embellishment to act as a little extender. So something else I've been playing around with a lot this past month is right angle weave. It really is such a versatile stitch. These 2mm green, I think they were called Martini Olive Green check glass fire polish beads came from the Bead Crate subscription as well. I actually went on to Eureka Crystal Beads and purchased some more of that same color because I'm planning to do this as my tutorial for my October Eureka Crystal Beads project video. It's just a great way to use 2mm check glass fire polish beads, seed beads, and some daggers, and you can get some really gorgeous earrings combining them in this way and using the right angle weave. So I'm really proud of that design as well. And if you happen to be interested in how I made these, definitely stay tuned for next month when I share that project. These daggers I've actually had in my stash for a while. They came from the $1 bead box and they just went so perfectly with these green fire polish beads, and I love the little flecks of gold on them. So I was excited to pull those out. It's a great way to use daggers that have unique designs or patterns on them. And you can see that I also use some dainty gold chain. I got that from Eureka Crystal Beads as well. I also use some wire guardians just for added protection on my beading thread, and then just some basic fishhook ear wires. And then finally, I have another new design that I came up with featuring cup chain and Swarovski pearls and super duos. So I was inspired by the flax golden super duos that came in the August Eureka Crystal Beads box, and all the materials in these bracelets actually came from EurekaCrystalBeads.com as well. These beautiful Swarovski pearls, again the super duos that you see on the sides, and all of that sparkly cup chain. So if you are interested in learning how to make these bracelets, I am planning to share that tutorial on Friday, so stay tuned for that. That will be my next Eureka Crystal Beads tutorial that I will be doing in partnership with them. In addition to those, this was just one other variation I made on that. You can see I didn't do the little seed beads going around either side like I did on this one. I just left it with little stripes. I also wanted to experiment with using check fire polish beads in the design as opposed to the Swarovski pearls, and it came out very nice as well. So that will be one other variation I will share on that video in case you maybe don't have those particular glass pearls in the size you need, and maybe you have plenty of 3mm fire polish and are interested in making a very, very sparkly bracelet. I look forward to sharing that soon. So that is everything that I have for you guys today for my latest finished jewelry update. I hope it was fun for you to watch. Maybe it helped to spark some ideas and inspiration in your own beading, and maybe you'll come up with something on your own or even completely different based on some of the things that I shared here today. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you have a favorite item that I shared in this video. Maybe let me know what you've been up to with your various subscription boxes, or if seeing some more finished pieces was helpful to you in some way. Finally, I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason why I come up with so many new things. You really keep me on my toes and keep me inspired to keep sharing. And without your interest, I definitely wouldn't be here doing what I do, continuing to open up new boxes, coming up with finished pieces, and sharing tutorials. So just thank you so much for your interest, all of your encouragement and kind words. So that's just what I want to finish my video up with today, is just the message to have fun with your beading and crafting. Don't take it so seriously. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to take risks, and just have fun. So thank you guys so much for being with me today for another finished jewelry update. I will be back soon with more videos this week. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching.